be special.
So it's going to be a torching session, I think.
I am on an escort trip. Did I know that I was coming on an escort trip, or did I think I was coming on a ski trip? I thought I was coming on a ski trip.
Anytime somebody disables the comments, to me is like a massive red flag.
Oh, well, I saw the comments before she disabled them, so I can tell you what the comments were and why she disabled them.
What were the comments? How is it that you were on this trip for 4 days and decided not to go home if all of these things that you were saying is true?
Oh my God, how could I forget the girl whose party trick is escorting on command? How could I forget that?
The part that sort of pissed me off about it is how out of context it is, because it makes it seem like she was involved in something so evil.
She's there with us, laughing it up, having fun, and then all of a sudden, oh wait, I'm this like stereotypical Gen Z, need the clout, I want to be a victim, let me post this.
I really wish that she would have come on the podcast.
Just imagine my surprise when I cannot leave. And my message to any young girl watching this is not worth it.
Spiking people's water with Molly and giving it to them without their consent.
She just turns around and puts the knife in. Put the knife in the back.
Welcome to Understandable. Glad to have you with us and hope you continue to be a part of our family for the foreseeable future. And if so, please hit that subscribe button. I'm Mohammed Moai with my incredible co-host, Zach Evans. And today we are discussing the drama that's been going on in our life, which is kind of different than the usual episodes that we do. But this one's going to be special.
So it's going to be a torching session, I think. Well-deserved torching session.
Yeah. So essentially what's going on is we have an acquaintance, I would say, that made a TikTok video that went viral. And then she also did a follow-up TikTok video, but we're going to show the very first one that she posted. And sort of talk about what she talks about in this video and address some of the very inaccurate, out of context topics that she brings up. So we'll play this, you guys watch it, and then we'll discuss.
Women in America.
This is my first little moment to get away, but long story short, I am on an escort trip. Did I know that I was coming on an escort trip, or did I think I was coming on a ski trip? I thought I was coming on a ski trip. Not everyone here is an escort, but this is not, I don't want to be in this environment. Number one, I got invited by a friend who said, oh, she's been on trips with these people before. Everything's cool. Within the first 10 minutes of the car ride with strangers, they're telling me how, oh yeah, last trip, somebody spiked the water bottles with Molly and I accidentally drank a whole thing of it. What? Oh my God, how could I forget the girl whose party trick is escorting on command? How could I forget that? How could I forget that? You guys, the craziest one, there's this girl, I don't know what cocktail she was on. Her jaw, bitch, was swinging left to right. You know how your jaw goes up and down? It's swinging. I'm staring because I'm like, I did not know somebody's jaw could move like that. Imagine my surprise when the type of snow that I'm seeing is more than the ones on the mountain. Imagine my surprise when last night I'm in the room and 2 teenage girls walk in. And they got invited here by 30-plus-year-old men. Imagine my surprise when an escort, mind you, very nice girl, very nice. I'm talking to her for all of 2 minutes. Yeah, you should come on my trip with me to Miami. We're gonna meet this guy. He's gonna take us on a yacht, bring us to the Bahamas. Now you want me to cross country lines? No. You're trying to pimp me. You won't get me, babes. You won't get me. And something to know about me, I'm a girl who stays buzzed. Rarely will you ever see me drunk. And if you do, it's by accident. So just imagine my surprise when I cannot leave. Because I'm in the mountains and I can't rent a car and there are no Ubers. So, and my message to any young girl watching this is not worth it. This is my first little moment to get away.
Okay, so
The amount of lies is just insane. It's just insane.
Okay. There's so much to unwrap here. First of all, a little bit of backstory for people to kind of understand what she's talking about. This is a video that ever since has been made private, so you can't. If anybody tries to search this, you're not going to be able to find it unless you're friends with this particular individual. The video originally got somewhere around 150,000 likes, about 10K saves and like shares, so on and so forth. But she also disabled the comments. So, that to me, anytime somebody disables the comments, to me is like a massive red flag.
Oh, well, I saw the comments before she disabled them, so I can tell you what the comments were and why she disabled them.
What were the comments?
So essentially what happened, so she says, oh, they brought teenagers on the trip, trying to imply, because she's trying to paint us out as a bad guy, that we had underage girls on the trip.
Right.
Which there were no underage girls on the trip.
Right.
And we have proof of all that. In the comments, people were knocking her because they were saying, wait, there's underage girls on the trip and you didn't call the cops? You're letting these girls get sex trafficked? So then she was getting blasted in the comments, not for lying, which she was actually lying, but she was getting blasted for not calling the cops because there's underage girls at the house, supposedly.
Exactly. Which in any normal situation, you would have called the cops.
Yeah, of course.
If you're seeing any of the things that she's suggesting. By the way, this is somebody brought this up, which was, how is it that you were on this trip for 4 days and decided not to go home if all of these things that you were saying is true?
Oh, well, what she says in the video, I was trapped. There's no way I can get home. By the way, she came with her 2 friends, who she is close to, who had a car. They could have left at any point, but coincidentally, in the free cabin that we got for her and the group that she was not paying for, she just stayed all the way to the end to get as much fun out of the skiing, fun snowboarding trip that she could. And then she wanted to get the clout and the clicks and the views. So now she's so scared. Oh no, guys, I have to be quiet. I'm recording this in the room. They're going to sex traffic me. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. I think the part that sort of pissed me off about it is how out of context it is, because it makes it seem like she was involved in something so evil. I mean, the subject line is, I'm on this ski trip from hell. And that's just ridiculous.
She was playing board games with us. Like, we were playing like Cards Against Humanity. She's there with us, laughing it up, having fun, and then all of a sudden, oh wait, I'm this like stereotypical Gen Z, need the clout, I want to be a victim, let me post this video. Like, it's like all the Gen Z worst stereotypes wrapped up into one person. And she's 26, by the way. I don't even know if she's Gen Z. She might be.
No, she is Gen Z. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous. It's interesting. Okay, so just to back up a little bit for people to understand what this is. We have this tradition where we do winter trips and summer trips for ourselves. But then we decided, because there's a small group of us that are like best friends and we just like constantly do these trips. We decided to sort of make it bigger and like invite some of our close friends and then allow those people to like invite their friends and so on and so forth, sort of share the fun and just make it more of an experience. So every year we have some new people that come, some of the people that consistently come to these trips, and obviously we cover most of the expenses of the trip. So whether it's like the cabins, whether it's the Airbnb, whatever it is, we take care of. The food and alcohol and all that stuff we take care of, and everybody else sort of, brings whatever they want to bring, and if they don't want to bring anything, they don't bring anything. It's fairly rich for someone who made use of every single thing that was given to her for free, did not offer to pay for anything, did not bring anything at all to the trip, as far as food or alcohol or any of that is concerned, and then calls somebody on the trip an escort, which is ironic considering if anything, you getting something for free for your presence would make you an escort. I mean,
the irony is just crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And also the audacity of this person to just like judge every single person on this trip, and still be there. I mean, I don't understand. And I tried to have a conversation. So she messaged me so we have this group chat for the trip, and so ultimately what had happened was one of the people that has come to these trips with us in the past saw this on her For You page on TikTok, and then texted me and was like, hey, do you know this person? So I was like, so I watched the video and I was like, yeah, I actually know who this person is. She was on the trip. And so I posted this video on the group chat trying to address what she was talking about. And, you know, she talks about drugs and she talks about all this stuff, you know, called it a drug party or drug trip or whatever it is. And it's also interesting because I've never had alcohol. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Zach very minimally drinks. He doesn't do any drugs. So it's just like, it's kind of, and you know, there are people who don't do drugs, and then there are people who smoke weed, do a couple lines or whatever, they do Molly or whatever, do shrooms. And that's a very normal thing to do, especially culturally in LA. And it's not that crazy. Nobody really like goes, you know, off the walls about it if somebody did something like that. So you know, it's also interesting to me because anybody who's watched this video, who knows us well and who's been on these trips, called it out and was like, this girl is literally just clickbaiting people into trying to just like getting followers and getting views and getting comments and getting likes.
Well, and you know what's the truth when we offered, hey, let's talk about this, right? You posted in the group chat, said very respectfully, actually, hey, none of this happened, blah, 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 blah. Instantly, she left the group chat.
Bounce.
Because she doesn't want to actually be accountable for her actions, right?
Yeah.
Or what she's saying. And then on top of that, you texted her and said, hey, do you want to come on the show and talk about it? And then she just ghosted. And her proof is her just saying, we have the entire group chat with everybody on the trip. And the second that video was posted, everybody was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly.
And everybody just is roasting her in the group chat because none of it's true.
Yeah, and so what happened was after when she left the group chat, she was the one who messaged me. And because afterwards I messaged, I said, you should come on our podcast tomorrow so we can talk about the trip. And she goes, I'm not even gonna lie, I'd be pissed if I were you. I get it. I made a second video clearing things up that I thought came out wrong, but nonetheless, you have a right to be upset. And this is what pisses me off is like, it shouldn't have even gotten to a place where you have to make a second video.
Mm-hmm.
You made this video so out of context, knowing that it was going to be clickbaity.
Mm-hmm.
So then you could make a second video and act like you're clearing things up and saying, oh, oops, I made a mistake. I didn't mean it the way it came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's bullshit.
And by the way, do you know the first thing she cleared up in the second video? Because she was getting torched in the comments for not calling the police on the underage girls there. Then in the second video, she was like, oh yeah, no, there were no underage girls. But the only reason she did that is because she was getting torched in the comments. So she tried to play it off as, oh, I made this second video to clear stuff up because I don't want to, spread lies about you guys. But no, she was clearing that up for her own sake because she was getting torched.
Yeah. I mean, the conversation kind of goes on and I'm like, and she goes, however, I don't think anything productive will come out of it because it's just not an environment I should have been invited to or stayed at.
Then leave.
Like you should have left.
You should have left the first day.
Yeah.
If you don't want to party, there's people partying. If you don't want to be a part of the party, that's fine. By the way, it was a big cabin. She could have gone downstairs and just chilled on her laptop. She could have gone out to the balcony and just played on her phone. There's plenty of things. She could have gone out to Big Bear and gone to one of the restaurants. There's plenty of options. She had friends there that she was close with. So it's not like she was in this environment. She was trapped or anything like that.
Not only she wasn't trapped, she also wasn't in any danger whatsoever. Nothing was happening to her.
Honestly, that's the part that is just so bizarre, that the whole performative act of, hey guys, I have to talk really quiet now because I'm in danger. I might be getting sex trafficked. The fuck are you talking about? We're literally probably up there just playing fucking Cards Against Humanity against each other, and she's acting like we have a fucking gun to her head or something.
That's the thing. That's the crazy thing is she made this whole thing sound like she was she was the victim. She victimized herself in this whole situation. Whereas even when I was talking to her, I was like, none of the things you're even talking about is firsthand information. Mm-hmm. It's like you're talking about what somebody else was talking about. Mm-hmm. And it's and that's like the craziest thing. Like you never experienced anything negative whatsoever.
You know what's crazy too is I feel like she was doing it more so to try to bash us. But ironically, the girls in the group chat were way more pissed off at her because the first thing she said, this was an escort trip, which by the way, there was zero prostitution, 100% nothing that went on prostitution wise. And all the girls are like, oh, you're calling us slutty prostitutes, blah, 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 blah. So ironically, by trying to hurt us, she actually pissed off the girls way more than anybody else. And everybody in the group chat is like joking. They're like, oh, Mo, where's my money? I didn't know this is a prostitution. How come I didn't get paid for this?
Why did I pay for my own ski lifts?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Where's my money? It's like so bizarre. It's just such a bizarre thing to happen.
It's crazy. She goes, from my point of view, when I was driving up, there was quite a lot that was said about the type of party it was, and she's referring to a completely different party by the way. Spiking drinks, the type of people that would be there, etc. And honestly, it felt very dangerous to me personally. This is so she's referring to when she got in the car with Mia and Haley to catch a ride from LA to Big Bear, right? So all while she's in the car, she's hearing these stories about the previous trips and thinking to herself, wow, what am I getting myself into? Where am I going? And still decides to come.
And decides to stay the entire time. Make use of the entire free cabin that she gets access to. And then waits to the last possible second to leave. Yet she's trapped there by some mysterious force.
The spiking drinks, by the way, that she's talking about is there was a few people in a previous trip that we had done who decided to take Molly water. So essentially put Molly in water and take it. People take Molly. It's a very normal thing to do, especially when you go to festivals, stuff like that. Now, these waters were marked off. They were all marked off, and everybody was told that, hey, don't drink these waters if you don't want to take Molly. And this particular person who's telling her the story is actually the one who accidentally took the Molly water before she was going to bed. She was already on Molly, but she accidentally took some more before going to bed. And she was making fun of the fact that, oh, hey, I f***ed up. I took this Molly water. And Justine turns it around, spins it into people are spiking people's water with Molly and giving it to them without their consent.
It's so crazy. It's like, this is the example of like when people say LA is full of fake people who are obsessed with clout. It's like she saw an opportunity. I want clicks. I want attention. I want people to say, wow, look, such an influencer. Oh my God, we feel so sorry for the victim. And she took that opportunity to try to get as many clicks as possible. She destroyed any potential friendships and relationships because everybody else on the trip bonded. And people are saying in the group chat, oh, I can't wait to hang out with you guys back in LA, blah, 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 blah. And she ruined all of that for some fake ass clout so she can get a couple extra TikTok followers. It's bizarre to me.
The craziest thing is this. She says this to me. She goes, in the car, it was mentioned that things can get sexual. So that, plus the Miami invite, plus all these other things felt very, very sketchy to me, right? The craziest thing about it is that 3 out of the 4 guys were in relationships.
Yeah.
So they were with people.
I brought a girl. You brought a girl.
Surush brought a girl. And Claudia was the only person who wasn't in any relationships, which, by the way, he didn't do anything sexual or inappropriate to anybody.
Yeah.
And nothing sexual or inappropriate happened to anyone on the trip whatsoever.
I didn't even see a guy hit on her. I don't think a single guy even like flirted with her the entire time.
But the crazy part of it is that she still uses this as an argument. She uses the car ride conversation as an argument to suggest what she said afterwards when the trip had already ended was valid. Which is like, what the
like, you were on the trip. You saw what happened.
Yeah, like, what about the things that actually happened on the trip?
And this is so crazy that she got invited to a free trip, a free Miami trip or whatever the fuck. Was it Miami?
Yeah, it was when...
didn't she say she was like crossing borders or something? Oh, what, state border? Was she talking about state borders? Oh, you're crossing state lines? What, you think the laws change because you're in Miami? It's so bizarre.
It's crazy because she got invited by Svetlana, obviously. So she got invited by a girl to a Miami trip for her birthday.
It wasn't even, it wasn't one of the guys like, oh yeah, like, come on this. It was literally a girl who invited you to a free trip.
This girl is like being nice to you and inviting you thinking that you're like her friend.
And she just turns around and puts the knife in. Put the knife in the back. Bro, this culture is fucked, man.
It's mind blowing. It's just, it's absolutely crazy to me. I don't understand how this person could go on, make this video, and act like anything that she said was true.
And that's the thing. It's like, we have everybody in the group chat, all the evidence, we have the screenshots, we have her unwilling to even talk to us about it, which by the way was also bizarre. Is on the trip she was always polite and nice and, hey, you know, like, good morning, blah blah blah.
Didn't say a single word about her being uncomfortable.
Nothing. And then all of a sudden, oh, I gotta post it on TikTok for the views and the clout and trying to be cool for my friends.
Yeah, I really wish that she would have come on the podcast, and I hope that this would swayed her to come on the podcast, because I think
definitely not, because she knows she's wrong. There's no way.
I mean, what is she gonna say?
She literally took the video down because she knows she's wrong. She deleted the comments on the video. She left the group chat. She ghosted us in terms of talking about it anymore.
Yeah. I tried to have a conversation with her for as long as I possibly can, but it got to a point where I was just like, hey, I don't want to have a text conversation with you for 3 hours trying to sort of go over like our point of views on things. But the reality of it is, like, your experience has nothing to do with what happened to you. It has everything to do with about the stories you heard from other people about previous trips.
It wasn't even about this.
It wasn't even about this trip. Which is crazy. And I think, see, now to me, like that, like if she had done a video saying, oh my God, I went on this trip and you won't believe the craziest stories I've heard. Mm-hmm. And like, these are the things that happen and these are the stories that I heard. That would have been so much more respectful.
And that's fair game.
And that's fine.
And yeah, people party hard.
Yeah,
some people on the trip do party really hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like we had, like one of our friends didn't go to sleep for a whole 24 hours. Like, but nobody's going to be like, oh, like you're a terrible person for this. Mm-hmm. Or like I was in hell because somebody else didn't go to sleep.
I was in danger, Mo. I'm a victim.
Like,
oh my God.
What the fuck?
What's going to happen to me? I think this girl should never go on any trips. Any trip, like, oh, they almost crashed the plane. Like, she could just make up, like, you need to stay in your house, buy like a year's supply of bubble wrap and just wrap that shit around you 100 times, never leave the house, Uber Eats everything, check it for food poisoning because someone might be trying to sex traffic you. Like, it's ridiculous.
There's something that I want to rewatch this real quick to remind myself of like what exactly I was trying to talk about.
This is my first little moment to get away, but long story short, I am on an escort trip. Did I know that I was coming on an escort trip, or did I think I was coming on a ski trip? I thought I was coming on a ski trip. Not everyone here is.
Okay, I mean, we already addressed this part of it, but like, seriously, like,
and she went skiing. She went skiing. I don't know if she went.
Two nights.
We went all 3 days.
2 days. She went 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a ski trip. There was zero prostitution that happened on the trip. There was zero people who got drugged. There was zero underage girls. Like everything she said is just a lie.
Yeah. But it's funny to me because she calls an escort trip and then she goes, there is an escort, which she knows very well that doesn't make it an escort trip just because if there is somebody who just happens to be an escort outside of this whole situation.
Who, by the way, was not paid to be on the trip, was not paid for sex, was not paid for anything.
Yeah, like if one person who does OnlyFans comes on a trip, this doesn't make it an OnlyFans party. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just, like, what do you mean?
I don't want to be in this environment. Number one, I got invited by a friend who said, oh, she's been on trips with these people before. Everything's cool.
Exactly. You were invited by a friend who was on these trips before and everything was cool.
Yeah. So imagine this. Your friend who says everything's fine, for some reason, you don't take her opinion. You take these stories that people have told you about previous trips who are not even your friend, and then you blow them up in your head and make up shit. Like, that's essentially what happened.
Minutes of the car ride with strangers. They were telling me how, oh yeah, last trip, somebody...
Okay, this is what pisses me off. When she says, car ride with strangers, because you asked if somebody could give you a ride.
Like, they were doing you a favor.
Bro.
Like, they were doing you a favor.
The audacity.
You could have driven up. You didn't want to because you probably didn't want to spend the gas money. So you asked them for a ride. They give you a ride and then stab the knife in the back.
Like, wow.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Spiked the water bottles with Molly and I accidentally, drank a whole thing of it. Oh my God, how could I forget the girl whose party trick is squirting on command? How could I forget that?
Like, she trusted you and told you that she could score it on demand. And you took that. This girl, not once this girl scored it on this trip.
Not once. But the story is so bad that I was scared for my life.
Somebody told you that they could score on demand, and you took this and made it into a whole story to tell the world.
It's so crazy, bro.
You guys, the craziest one, there's this girl, I don't know what cocktail she was on. Her jaw, bitch, was swinging left to right. You know how your jaw goes up and down? It's swinging. I'm staring because I'm like, I did not know somebody's jaw could move like that. Imagine my surprise when the type of snow that I'm seeing is more than the ones on the mountain.
I mean,
for one thing, now she's just bashing a girl, essentially saying she's ugly and her jaw moves weird, which is kind of, if anything, like, you're being a bully, especially posting that on social media.
Yeah.
So the victim, who's ironically trying to portray herself as a victim, is ironically the one holding the club and bullying people. Like, the fuck, like, everybody else was nice on the trip, actually.
Like, these are people that were friendly to you, that were nice to you, that welcomed you, that tried to make you feel good, and this is how you pay them back. It's just like,
imagine my surprise when last night I'm in the room and two teenage girls walk in and they got invited here by 30-plus-year-old men. Imagine my surprise when an escort, mind you, very nice girl, very nice. I'm talking to her for all of 2 minutes. Yeah, you should come on my trip with me to Miami. We're gonna meet this guy. He's gonna take us on a yacht, bring us to the Bahamas. Now you want me to cross country lines?
Wait. She did say country.
well, she said she was talking about the Bahamas.
Oh, Bahamas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair game. But isn't that crazy? She said, "Oh, I met this girl. Oh, super nice girl." She literally said, "Super nice girl."
Yeah.
And then she tries to paint her as a sex trafficking drug lord girl or something like that. Oh yeah, she was a nice girl that was trying to sex traffic, like, because she invited you on a free trip.
Such a nice person who's trying to sex traffic me.
Bizarre. You know what we should do is just say a bunch of lies, post it, and then post a rebuttal video. And say,
just apologize later. Yeah,
we cleared everything up. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, sorry, we said all this stuff.
Yeah,
like,
sorry we said all these lies about you.
But hey, but did you see the second video though?
Pimp me. You won't get me, babes. You won't get me. And something to know about me, I'm a girl who stays buzzed. Like, rarely will you ever see me drunk. And if you do, it's by accident. So just imagine my
If you see me drunk, it's by accident. who gets drunk by accident?
Are you spiking your own drinks? The fuck are you talking about?
How does that happen accidentally?
I don't know. You slip and fall, and then fucking tequila goes down your throat, I guess.
I wish he was here to explain this one.
Yeah.
surprise where I cannot leave. Because I'm in the mountains, and I can't rent a car, and there are no Ubers. So, and my message to any young girl watching this is not worth it. This is my first little moment to get away.
Also, I'm pretty sure you can get Ubers. They just take longer. I'm not 100%.
No, she could have gotten an Uber.
Yeah.
She could have gotten an Uber. She could have rented a car. She could have went back with one of her friends who, you know, if this trip was so bad.
Mm-hmm. But instead, she made use of the free cabin for the maximum amount of time possible before she flipped it to try to get as much clout as humanly
Didn't leave until checkout time.
Didn't leave till check. I think I left before her. I'm pretty sure I left the cabin before her. She was probably the last one there. Still trapped in the house. She was still trapped in the house when we all left. I guess.
That's actually very true. It's crazy. She was one of the last people who left.
That's hilarious.
At checkout.
Well, one of our friends has a theory that because she was significantly less attractive than the other girls there, she felt kind of
Intimidated.
out of place, intimidated.
Insecure.
And because of that, she had to find a way to like help her ego deal with that, which I don't know if that's why or if she just, I kind of think she more so just wanted the clicks and views.
I
maybe
think
it's
so too.
A combination of both.
No, I think it's the latter. I think she found an opportunity. I think she got a bunch of stories, and she seems to be very good at. Hey, I mean, if this hadn't happened, I would have been like, let's bring you on Unattainable and just like have you produce content for us, because it's like, because she's that good.
She's good. She's good at spinning shit.
Yeah.
She's good at spinning shit.
Like me hearing that, I'm like, damn, like that is entertaining shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's a sack of lies.
It's completely bullshit.
It's just basically a bunch of lies collected and put together in a very, very talented manner.
But on the plus side, we got our Johnny Depp moment. Amber Heard has spoken, and Johnny Depp still lives, baby. He still lives. You can't stop him.
I mean, I think, but that's like, I think the beauty of the situation is like, we've gotten to a point where now people see through bullshit, because multiple women messaged me after seeing that video who weren't on the trip and know us, and they were like, we're very sorry that this person is this unappreciative and unthankful and rude and just a liar.
Mm-hmm. Like it's one thing to like not pitch in, which nobody was asked to pitch in. So it's like, okay, fair game. And there's another thing to be entitled, where you just think that you deserve it for no reason, which is like annoying. And then it's like another step to be like complaining and negative and trying to backstab people for literally giving you a free Big Bear trip. Like, it's so crazy. It's like, it's like the next level of like the evolution of just like LA girl bullshit, you know?
Yeah. No, 100%. Ah, man. I hope we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna probably message her and be like, hey, here's your answers.
Hey,
so we'll see.
Fight fire with fire. She wants to go on blast on social media. All right.
Exactly. You reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm.
Any last words?
No, that's about it.
Me too. we said what we had to say. Although I hope that I hope she makes these videos public, because I can't wait for the comments after we post ours.
Oh, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Because we have all the proof. We have the screenshots. We have the group chat. We have everything.
No,
It's just like,
people who were there are the proof of everything that was great and amazing about the trip. So that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Until the next one.